this is my stream, and welcome to you who have come to the stream. Anything is possible at my stream. You can do anything at my stream. The infinite is possible on my stream. The unattainable is known on my stream. Welcome to my stream. This is my stream. Welcome to my stream. Welcome. This is my stream. Welcome to my stream. Welcome to my stream.
see if I can remember how to do all of this. Can't hear my music, which I don't like. I think I turned that off actually. How you guys doing? There we go. Okay, now I can hear my music. We're good. As long as this hopefully doesn't break. I got chat here. I don't have chat here. There's chat. Okay, cool. All right. See if I can just pull up just this. All right, so the whole reason we're here, actually, let me go back here. Just ignore that. I want to turn this on. All right, cool. So last year, I had the opportunity to assist in creating this product, which is VeeFriends Super Stickers Spectacular Series 2026. So this is a product that I helped design pretty much the whole thing. So I wanted to hop on here. I got my boxes today. I wanted to open some boxes, talk about the design. So I've got, Photoshop here. I can field questions on that and on here. I know a lot of people are probably over on Whatnot watching this, but I wanted to hop on here and show what's going on. So let me know in the chat if you know what VeeFriends is. And if not, I can sort of hopefully tell you a little bit more about that. Fix that. And, let me know what's up. I'm going to open a couple of these in a little bit. These are boxes. They went on pre-order on Halloween. So the whole point of what these are is they're super stickers of the VeeFriends series. This is the second collaboration or second super sticker product they've put out. So they put out a collab with Steph Curry and his team with Canvas Marketing. And this is their own individual set that they came out with. So they contacted me last year, and I post a lot about sports cards and stuff like that. This is a little bit different than that, but they're pretty much card design. So I helped design the base cards, the parallels, the inserts. There's 9 inserts. There's a bunch of chase cards in here. So these went on pre-order. Everybody's getting their boxes soon, today and other days. They officially comes out tomorrow. So I got like 11 boxes in today. I'm only going to open a couple of them because I'm going to keep a lot of them sealed. But I wanted to hop on here and see if anybody wanted to watch, and I wanted to field questions about these. Let me just fix one thing because my stream channel name is completely wrong on Twitch. So let me just do VeeFriends stickers, and I'll just hit done and just spam that, and we'll see if it even changes. There we go. Cool. All right, so everything looks good on my end. So this is the box. So I even designed the box and everything with that. So let's talk about some of the design first before we even do that, because I think that's more fun. That's half the fun of being here, is talking about the design. So here's the box, right? This is the box here. Well, let's open up and find the box on my computer. So Matt, something for this in Photoshop resolution, theoretically, depending on what the design is, you'd want to do this in Illustrator. I did a lot of it in Photoshop just because of some of the textures, but you want to be working at 300 DPI because that's print. So let me find the most up-to-date box. This is pretty good. What about this? New box? Yeah, I'll open up this. So if you look here, so this is the box design. So I've got the box here in hand, which is great. But it all started as this. So we got a die cut or a template from the production company, the printer. And the way this came about was we wanted it to mimic a Series 1 box from Topps. So we took this, and the whole point of this box is this part here rips down, and you can use it as a display. What's up, Ethan? Ethan, heard you got a new job. Congratulations on that. Seems like a pretty sick opportunity to work with the goat, not goat. So the box design is tricky because you have to think about it in a 3D shape, which is why I cut up a little sheet. And I'll turn this back on so we can see. So there's the big box. Here's the little box. So I printed it off on an 8.5 by 11 to verify that it would work. So if I put these side by side, you know, they're the same thing. Text at the top ended up going down here. But this is what it looks like. But I'm going to open this up just to see what's going on. What's up, Chris? Welcome in. Okay, so here's the box design. Now, I think this tab perforation is giving people a little bit of trouble. But I'm going to do this how I want it to be done. So I'm going to just cut this. I think part of the issue is it's a really thick holographic stock. So it's like really hard to perforate. Like even cutting it with this is kind of tricky. But it was cool to make this. And the thing with this too is it's holographic. So I had to have two files for this. So I have a file for the holographic and the file for the white behind it as well. So let me get this popped open. Like that. Let's get the corners popped out. So if you aren't familiar with VeeFriends, I pulled this up. It's Gary Vaynerchuk's invention. It is a... it's his IP. So this is what it should look like. So it should look like this. This is exactly how it should look, which is awesome. I'll go like this and show you. So it looks like that. So it looks awesome standing up. So this consists of 255 characters. This set has 88 characters in it and some debuts. So there's 100 characters in this set. But it's sort of having Sesame Street meets Pokemon. So there's a bunch of different characters to collect. And in here there's some chases people want. There's a card design, or there's a character design by Tom Bancroft, who designed Mushu from Mulan. And we'll talk about this box design a little bit because there's some fun Easter eggs and nobody has found yet that I put in here. So the big characters in this, Alex, thank you for asking, is the very, 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 very lucky black cat, which is the golden black cat on here on the packaging. So this is the Charizard of this series, this set. And each character has 43 different designs. So there's 36 cards or 36, not cards, stickers. They're very card designed. Stickers in each box. Everybody's looking for the cat. So there's 43 different cards per character. 42 base and parallel cards and 1 autographed card out of 2. NFT holders actually got the out of 2. So there's the 1 out of 2 and a 2 out of 2. The 2 out of 2s are in packs, and the 1 out of 2s NFT holders actually got for free. So a lot of those holders are going to want to try and get these. But I designed these packs too, which is fun. So getting all this text on there. I did this in Illustrator because it's easier to scale it up. There's no textures or anything that's crazy on it. So on here, it's got a base scale rarity. So there are base cards, which are just black background with a character on the front. So Lava, Bubblegum, and Diamond are more common, and the harder ones to get are Emerald, Gold, and Hologram. So I'm going to open up 6 cases yesterday, which is 72 boxes, and they only found 18 emerald cards. So they're actually pretty short printed. But each card then has 7 parallels to it, and each of the parallels have one of these characters on it in one of these spectacular. So there's gold, emerald, these 6 here. So 6 times 7 is 42, plus 1 is what we're looking at with that. That math should check out. But the cat is what you're looking for. So any of the numbered cats are huge to get. And the stickers are numbered, which is great, which is a great addition. So I'm going to get opening because I've been waiting for a while to open these up. And I designed them in such a way where hopefully when you're doing this, and it depends on how they're ordered, but you can find the hits very easily. So if we're looking on the back of this here, so diamond, this is a diamond gritty ghost base, and these look awesome. I'm really happy with how these look. What's up, Soggy? I wanted to do my own little stream to chat about this. We'll open some boxes with you on Saturday. Saturday, I'm joining Soggy's Whatnot channel to talk about the design. I'm sure we'll have a little bit more of a crowd to talk about that. So I'm not going to give away all the answers exactly. That's going to be on a Whatnot channel, which is where a lot of people sell these cards. But I wanted to hop on here and talk about these just because I can. So I got a gold, a lava, and a diamond. So this gold boisterous beaver is actually one of the rarer base cards you can get. I'm pumped, Soggy. Alex, yeah, if you want to talk to Midwest, they're probably doing a huge stream on these. These feel really nice. You know, I designed the backs too, so the backs are different for the insert cards. We'll take a look at that. But we'll open these up. I don't know what characters I'm looking that I want to get in here other than cats. The rare robot is one. The rare robot's awesome. I like the rare robot. So this is the hologram. I like the hologram the best, but we'll see what happens with the inserts. And I think they put the inserts in the front. I think what I would have done was put the inserts in the back. So when you go like this, you can see if you hit one instead of seeing it right when you open a pack. So we got a robot, and we got a very, 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 very lucky black cat on bubble gum. It's one of the more common cards, but the black cat is hard to hit. So this is exactly what you want to hit in this product. This is great. This is lovely to see. And this is like an ideal pack. If you're a VeeFriends fan, I think you would know this is an ideal pack. You get a robot, the very, very, very lucky black cat, and then Vibe and Vampire, which are all awesome. So I need to sleeve some of these up. I'm not prepared to do that, but we need to sleeve some of these up. And I only wanted to open like 2 boxes of this, but I might have to open more. But I'm going to keep a bunch sealed because it's mine. So we have our first hit. So each pack comes with 3 stickers, and I think you get 2 parallels per pack. I designed the box. I should know this. I put it on the box somewhere. You get 2 debut stickers, 2 numbered parallels, a spec showdown, and a comic insert. So this is one of our numbered parallels. The persistent penguin out of 55. So each character has 6 spec variations on 6 different backgrounds. So as you can see here, this is the lava penguin on the emerald background. 10 out of 55. I'm happy with the stamps. I think the stamps could be a little smaller, but it is what it is. But it's nice that they're on there in general. So we got the persistent penguin. This is our first hit. I'll put that there. Maybe we display it later. Shrewd shark and the forthright flamingo. The tricky thing with this, and I've talked about this in the video, is so each character has their base card, which is this. And there's 6 different base cards because each spec. And then there's 36 parallel cards essentially out of 55. So that means there's over 3,700 different variations of designs, like individual files that need to be created. So getting that to batch out was very interesting to do, and there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of quality control to get that figured out. But I'm very happy with how these look. We got the Dialed and Dog Gold, again, one of the rarer ones. So we're looking for emerald, we're looking for gold from these base cards. Everything else can be what it is. So we got Dialed and Dog, the Tidy Troll, and the Tremendous Tiger. Another fan favorite. Surprised he hasn't had his own comic yet. So the growth of these. A lot of people don't know what these stickers are in my sports design, sports community. But these characters have comic books. So there's comic books you can buy with these. There's obviously cards. There's stickers you can get. These are the stickers. They have cards. They have Topps cards that come out every year. So there's a lot of fun collectibles. They have 255 different characters you can take a look at. And one of the cool things that I think a lot of people are going to be drawn to with this product is this right here. So this is, you get 2 of these in every box, I believe. And it's a Spectacular Series sweepstake. So I can scratch this off and I can win 1 of 15 VeeFriends cards. So all the information is on here, which is very, very, very tiny. It was super fun to put on a 2.5 by 3.5 card. But you can scratch this off, go online, scan this QR code and do it. I enter in the code underneath here and I have the opportunity of winning 1 of 15 1-of-1 NFTs. So I'm gonna put that there. Here's our comic insert. So we got the Motivated Monster, which is issue number 5. So these come in as well as the cards. So you're getting 3 cards per pack still. So we got the Motivated Monster insert. We've got the Eager Eagle and the Courageous Cockatoo. So we've got double bird pack here. And these are great. And the cool thing with this, when I was designing these, was up here, I don't even remember what I did, but I had a bunch of different variations of this. So I ended up adding Spectacular Series here, and we must have changed it. Because at one point I had for the parallels, there were highlights up here, like little stars to show like shininess for Spectacular. So then you can differentiate these together. So the parallels would have had a slightly different logo on them. We must have changed it along the way because there's a lot of back and forth on making sure everything was good to go. There's another sweepstake, so we'll get 2 of these. And these have different characters on them. And the 15 characters are the NFTs you can win. And I don't know if people know that. So like you can win, what is this? The Magnanimous Maltese Bubblegum, or you can win this Bubblegum NFT. So the ones that are actually on the cards are the ones you can win. And it doesn't apply to the card. They're just random. But you can win 1 of those 15. So pop that up there. So we've got the Helpful Hippo, the Entrepreneur Elf, and the Sensible Sommelier. So the Entrepreneur Elf, fun fact, I kept spelling this wrong. So it has on there entrepreneur, and I think I kept forgetting the R. So like 3 or 4 rounds in, I had to go in and fix that. And there's a little spelling error in here, which is fun. Not really, because we spent hours going through and trying to quality control and see what's going on. So here's our second hit. So it's the Tidy Troll. Not a match. So there's a couple things people are going to want to get. But this is the first time I'm seeing these. So the cool thing with this, and I didn't know this when I was designing them, is the different backgrounds. So they're different holographic backgrounds for each parallel. So we got the Persistent Penguin. We got the Tidy Troll, 52 out of 55. The thing people are going to chase with this is matching. So gold on gold, bubblegum on bubblegum. But what I wanted to see too, and I'll pull this up to show, is how much of that background shines through, because I wanted it to be like a sports card. So like on this is really awesome because you can see a little bit like here, you can see where there's white printed underneath. So it doesn't show all of the background, but it shows some of it. And that's done 100% intentional. And it looks awesome. I'm really pumped with how that looks. So we got a Poised Pug and then the Helpful Hippo. So Lava and Bubblegum, these are going to be the most 2 common you'll find. It'll be pretty easy to get a Lava set of all 88 characters. And then next would be Bubblegum. As you can see, we haven't gotten a single Emerald. So out of these base cards, you know, if we just swipe through here briefly, we've gotten 1 gold, 2 golds out of, you know, half the packs. But that's what's going to happen. Let me open this up. Okay, so we have a debut sticker, I can already tell. So it's out of orange. I think this is the base debut sticker. So there's 12 characters that are base stickers as well. So this is the debut. This is the Hot Shot Hornet, previously the Hot shit hornet. So this is the debut. So fun thing about this is I designed that logo too. Came up with that. So I've got the files for that. So that's another fun thing to talk about. So there's 12 debut characters. So this is a debut for the Hotshot Hornet. So that's a hit. I'm going to put that up there. So we've got the Tidy Troll and the Bullish Bull. So what we're looking for right now. So we've got our 2 inserts. We've got our comic insert. So there's one more debut sticker. And then we have this. We have one more debut sticker and then just what else is in here. So these should be mostly base. So we want cats is really what we want. So you got the Kind Warrior. One thing I didn't know they were doing with this as well, and I had no hand in, are these mini stickers. So they added these mini stickers in as like an on the top thing, which I think is great. So I got the Versatile Viking here. These are cool. I haven't seen these mini stickers in person before. This rainbow looks pretty nice. I don't remember the rarity on these, but can't go wrong with rainbow. So out of all of these stickers too, if we look at these stickers we've got on here, every single character, I think except for 2, are double lined. This is one that is single lined. I think we went back and forth on if there should be or not have a hyphen on here, because I think it's different in different spots. But this is the Kind Warrior, which is followed up by the Likeable Leopard and then the Turnt Tick. Again, things people don't think about. Turnt Tick. It's turnt with quotation marks. I think I had to add those back on the Spectacular Showdown, which is actually what we haven't hit yet, which I was looking most forward to, is the Spectacular Showdown insert. It's probably the cooler design. So we've got on here 2 debut stickers. We got one of those. So we need another one of those. 2 number parallels, a Spectacular Showdown, and a comic. So in these, we're going to have another Super Sticker debut, and then we're going to have a Spectacular Showdown. Other inserts are, I'll talk about them, show them. So here's our other sticker. That is a debut. And it's the Bold Bison, Brave Bison. Not numbered. They do have numbers on these. Just the red and orange are the not numbered ones. They will have numbers on them if they are numbered, which is cool. So you got the Brave Bison. We've got the Patient Pig and the Trusting Tarantula. I'm really happy with the variety from the single box. I know a couple people saw a little bit of sorting issues or some weirdness with some sorting, but overall, opening all these base stickers, I don't know if we really have that many that are the same, which is really cool. I'm gonna give the Patient Pig to my wife because she took the quiz before they tweaked it and she got Patient Pig, so I'll put that up there. All right, so what we're looking for now is the Spectacular Showdowns, which is right here, right on cue. And this is just cool. What I'm looking at now is just the background. So this is on sort of just a plain, somewhat shiny stock. I think if they put this on more of a rainbow stock, you'd be able to see some of this through a little bit better. There's a little bit of a, yeah, I think that's the design. So this one's Spectacular Showdown. So with this one, it's head to head facing each other of 2 similar things. Thank you. So these are 2 water animals. So the Nifty Narwhal and the Hungry Hammerhead. This is one of my favorite things to design because I made it full bleed. I really wanted it to sing if you were sorting through this. So let me go to the next one. So we got Driven Dragon. So what I wanted it to be, so is if you went like this and looked through them, you went, oh, I got a hit, which is cool to know. That's why I wanted to make it full edge, full bleed. And I wanted it to read more like a sports card than a sticker. And I wanted to take a lot of these to the edge as well, which we can talk about, Soggy, when you pull them on Saturday, I'm sure. Because you might pull more stuff than this. But the tricky thing too is, like, I make a bunch of digital stuff. I know what this looks like on my computer. I don't know what it looks like on a 2.5 by 3.5 inch sticker. That's why printing stuff out is important to figure out scale for this. So we got the Spectacular Showdown. So you get one of those in every box. So then we got the Driven Dragon and the Determined Dolphin. And we still have another pack. We've opened up 11 packs already. It's over 30 cards. So I think a lot of people, like, you're getting beat a dead horse with this. You're getting a lot of value with this product, which a lot of people are saying right now, which is great. They're $99 a box, which is a good deal for what you're going to get. Gritty Ghost. I'm a big Gritty Ghost fan. Oh, we got another debut, which is super fun. So we got the Sensible Sommelier again, but then this is a debut. And we got a Hotshot Hornet out of 499. So if you look at these, so we got 2 Hotshot Hornets. So if you look at these, when I designed these, I had to bump up that debut logo so it fit. So it's a fun little challenge across the board. Challenge 2 is figuring out where to pose these guys and how to get it so everything's behind them. You know, the logos are slightly different colors. Bit of a challenge. So $275 per sticker currently, very affordable. Yeah, and I mean, if you think of one thing I always argue too, so I'm pumped I got that. One thing I argue with people even talking about like the Topps Chromes card, like base cards, and saying like these aren't going to be worth anything in a year or whatever like that. It's like, one, they're growing. Humorously, my wife brought me this. My comics came in. So like I said, they come with comics. But let me say what I wanted to say first. Go look at Pokemon cards. You know, go even look at like debut 1999 Pokemon cards. A lot of the base cards, they're worth a couple dollars. They're not rare. But as I said, they have comics. So, as I mentioned, the rare robot's cool. Here's some rare robot comics. And I haven't opened any of these because I've got these 3 here. And then I've got all these here. So I like collecting things. I have a collector's bug. Alex heard my dog. This is Penny. So if they had a Shih Tzu, Soggy, I would like having a Shih Tzu. So they got some dogs in that are good. But do I have a favorite character specific card that I designed? I mean, I think the Spectacular Showdown with the Angel and the Devil is the one that I started with. That and then the Jolly Jacko Haunted Hologram. And the cool thing about the box design, we're going all over the place. ADHD is taking over. So each of these characters you can find in there. So you can find Golden Gary V. You can find a holographic. These are all characters that are in the product and on inserts. Actually, no. Soggy, I'm going to say this today. There's only 4 people watching this. Do you know what the significance is of the characters that are on the box throughout here? And only VeeFriends people are going to know. So I can tell you, because it kind of makes sense with what we're talking about. Okay, so we've got Harpic, Kind Warrior, Ninja, Warrior. I mean, I completely blanked. Oh, the Versatile Viking, that's what it is. And the Monster. I intentionally put characters on the comic. So we got Comic 4 represented. We've got Comic 7 on there. We don't have Comic 3 on there, but we've got Comic 5 on there. This is Comic 2. This is a sealed Comic 2. These people want these now. Like, I have a sealed one, which doesn't happen. But then we've got the Versatile Viking. We've got Gary B on there. So every character of the comics is represented on the outside of the box, which I think is a fun addition. It's showing intent with the design. Yeah, it's $200 plus sealed. I had this one. I had this one on eBay because I was trying to buy a VF1. So this is the one on VeeFriends' first ever live Givey signed by Andy. I got DJ to sign it, and I got Gary to sign it. So this is the first one they ripped on stream, which is super cool. And I have a fun story about Gary's signature that we can talk about at a different date. What else do we have in here? Oh, here we go. See? So then we got Kind Warrior on there as well for issue 9. Just trying to feel these. I feel like the cooler covers for these would have thicker packs. So I got 6 of these because they screwed up sorting them. So I ended up with more. I don't really want to open any of these. I want to keep them all sealed, but I might open some of these because we got a couple for free, and Soggy knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's one box. I'm probably going to open another box. But let's talk about some design stuff first. Soggy, set me up for something you want to know. There's only 4 people here. You're the only person in here who probably knows what VeeFriends is. You're the only one chatting about it. So we're going to curate this to whatever you want. Yeah, I'm going to open it. I'll open another box. I was supposed to get a case, but they sent me 9 boxes in 3 boxes. Or they sent me 9 boxes because they were going to float a couple boxes my way. So they kind of screwed that up. So I don't have a sealed case anymore, but that just means I can open some boxes. Soggy, let me show you something that you can then reveal on Saturday. All right, you ready? No one knows this. Hold on. My camera froze. I've never done this. I've never had this setup for this. So let me see if I can pull this back up. I don't know why it disconnected. Yeah, I'll prepare you. I'll pull up some design stuff. I just want my camera to pop back up, but I think my camera, I don't know. It was pulling from my iPhone and then stopped. It just like randomly froze. Let me see if I can get this to work. Again, I don't know if it's because it went. Oh, here we go. This is my, hold on, I have a phone on the ground. This is a different phone. Phone's over here. Alright, let's go back over here. Different phone. Whatever works. Except this case is different, so it's gonna sit like this, but that's fine. Alright, so here's the box. Right? So one thing I did was, jeez, hold on. My headphones just died. Okay. So Soggy, one thing I did with this was I hid Easter eggs in this box. So there's Easter eggs in these corners. So unless someone opens up and deconstructs the box, they're not going to see this. So they're not going to see this until they break down the box to throw away. So on here, we have the Fearless Fairy, and it says, "You fearlessly found us." It's got Bad Intention saying, "What rabbit hole will you go down next?" We've got Flex and Fox, "You found me. Major flex energy detected." And then I couldn't resist, and Rips agreed with me. We've got the Witty Weasel saying, "You found me." That's some 6-7 energy right there. So these guys are just hidden in the box that nobody is ever going to see unless they break open the box. But we thought the more funny Easter eggs like that, the better. So I want to see who figures that out first, because I don't know who's going to figure that out. Soggy, while you're here, or I can call you JJ, you know, JJ Soggy, same thing. I want you to ask me about the Falcon would have, oh yeah, big Falcon guy. Witty Weasel made sense just because he's witty and making a dumb joke. I think I asked ChatGPT for assistance on that. Let me know from you what design-wise stuff you want to see. Yeah, you switched YouTube accounts randomly. That's how YouTube goes. It's fine. So I'm gonna pull up whatever VeeFriends stuff you want me to show you, and I will show you, and then we can talk about it more on Saturday. We can use this as sort of a impromptu. I want to find old stuff from early on. This is cool. I'm gonna open up the base cards because so this is what I started with. I need to send these to Brett GM. So this is what it started as. I've not done a die cut design before, so that was interesting to do because I made up the whole die cut. Like I need to talk about that in a video. But no, the die cut, in theory, I know how to do it. I just have never done it in practice. But this is the first design I sent for the base cards. So it was super stickers. These are the specs that I thought I had included on the parallels, but I guess we took them off, probably to keep things consistent. But it was really going to be sort of edgier, really more sports card looking. But then Rips really wanted to lean into more of a base card. So you have variety. You have the contrast from base to other stuff. And then the holograms would look like this. So the stickers would look like this. They have the same consistent border, name down here, and they would say what the parallel was. And we went away with that. You know, we went away from this to make the parallels a little bit more different. So this is what each parallel would look like, or each color match parallel was going to look like. And these are the ones that people are going to hunt down. And they provided me with a bunch of backgrounds, which was nice. So this is what the bubblegum would all look like. And they look cool. They just wanted to go with something a little bit more basic. But these are some of the first ideas I sent them with backgrounds. The diamond turned out amazing. Somebody played around with this, played around with that. These are different base cards. These are some stuff I was trying to test out. Because I was trying to test out if I could do all of the batching myself. And then we changed it from there. So we played around with that. I'm just trying to find stuff here. So this is what the super sticker started as. You think the gold on emerald looks great, right? Yeah. So this is what it started as, and I made a video about this. So it's like warping into the background, and this looks cool, and it's something that I could probably use in the future as a design element. This is how those started. So they started like that, and then ended up. Let me find the one because I did them all. But I'm glad we went full with it. So it was either that or, you know, this. So that card turned into this. This is definitely a lot more menacing. Definitely a lot more showdown-esque. But it still looks cool. It was fun to make. Haunted holograms. Oh, okay, that's what that is. I'm just literally going back through. So then Rip sent me a text message of nothing. And we played with the idea of having this VF behind it, which is like real 70s looking. But I didn't think it was going to work with each character. This is the 6th dimension. This is the one we haven't opened. And we didn't get because it's not in every box. It's a rare hit. There's green of these and there's black of these. And the green printed a little dark, so they're kind of hard to figure out. But if you look at this big laser guy, this is where the difference happens, essentially. And I think in terms of the 6th dimension, like front to back, start to finish, it was always this. Or is this a little bit different? Oh, so this is fully cropped in. So I started fully cropped, but then I went, no, we should blast it out. So it adds depth to it. So it's coming out even more of the 6th dimension, What are these? These are all the 6 dimensions. And then these are all... Oh, this is a blurry 6 dimensions here. Designing the characters in one frame was annoying and hard. Let me pull up all of them. Because every single character has a different pose. So I don't want that. We'll see if this opens. This is like a 2 gigabyte file. Some of them, I don't really like how they look. Some of them I flipped around and was like, listen, Adam, I'm going to have to flip some of these around so they make sense and look good. So it's opening here. So we're going to pop that open. I need to like pop into Discord and be like, you guys are missing out on fake alpha. Alpha from me, but it's still quality. So these are all of them. These are all of them? No, these are some of them. Why does it say all? Oh, do I have them just turned off? Let me see over here. Because they're supposed to be 20, and this is only... No, this is 20. Never mind. This is all of them. So like we can zoom... I'll zoom through all of these, and you can see what they are. So we got the rare robot, which I started with. I'm an hour outside of Columbus. Roughly. But I'm from Ohio, so like anything within like 3 hours is a drive. Anything within 5 hours is a drive. And that's a cool thing about living in Ohio. Like I'm 5 hours away from Chicago, Pittsburgh, Nashville. I can get to Detroit in 3 hours. I can get to Kansas City in like 6. It's the heartland of America. I started with the rare robot because the rare robot's cool. Then went to the articulate armadillo. We've got the bashful blobfish, competitive clown, flex and fox. So the eager eagle was a little interesting because what I tried not to do, and I do this when I do sports design, I don't like covering eyes. So I didn't like that it covered the eyes. These, you know, both eyes, a little bit of weirdness here, both eyes, covered up. And there's not an easy way to get around that unless we like flipped them around, which we might have tried. Dowden Dog, Curious Crane, the Forever Phoenix. The Focused Falcon, I think, is a little rough. Because, again, it's covering faces. And I didn't want to distort it too much or tweak it. We got the Heart Trooper, Hustle Hamster, Somaliate. The Protective Panther is just a really wide character. And that was something we had to deal with the base cards. So I think, actually, some of the base cards actually break that plane. And it might be the Protective Panther. Where did I put those cards? These stickers. Let me look through these real quick. And you can tell just in terms of size. Like the Trusting Tarantula. Like if I turn this back on. So like the Trusting Tarantula breaks that plane on the left and right because it's such a wide character. And the trouble is you're trying to fit all these characters in the same width, height without, you know, going insane from doing this for 3,700 different cards or stickers. I'm gonna say cards. I like the rare robot, and I need to do something with this lucky black cat. It's not centered great, so grading it would be weird, but that's a good one to hold on to and then drop. Let's turn that back off. My brother knows. My brother was in the chat. That's who was talking before. He knows like the social media manager for Midwest Cards, so they might reach out, but I might also reach out. If you're going to make the drive, I might go because that just sounds like fun. And I mean, I've been waiting for this product to come out since I started designing it. Like this is the coolest thing I've made and designed. Awesome. Good. Just keep telling Tim to have me on. I live in Dayton. It'll be no problem. Waiting for this product to come out. Like, you know, like you've seen my website. Like I've created stuff for the Green Bay Packers, the Bears, Manchester City. I'm designed stuff for the Olympics for NBC Sports earlier this week. Like I do cool stuff, but having something physical that I make is super cool. But so there's just a couple of these characters that I thought were really awkward. And we flipped some of these characters around. So you might notice some of these characters are flipped. I don't remember which ones we flipped. You can tell on some of these if they have Gary's signature on it, or the 5. I think that's why we didn't flip the Falcon, because he had the 5 on it. But like the Forever Phoenix is flipped, because this is Gary's signature reversed. So like that was the trouble, trying to figure out some of that. The 5-year OG cards, I saw one printed, and I don't know if they printed them how I wanted them printed, because I wanted this back to be see-through. So the back was supposed to be somewhat transparent and not black, and I think it's black. So that I was kind of confused with. Here's some examples. I don't want examples. I wanted to show you what we ended up doing with some base. Yeah, keep bugging the crap out of him. Let me look at some of these. Because I did some of this on my laptop, and I did some of it from something else. Just want to find... Yeah, gold base example. These are examples. So like this is what the scratch off I think kind of looks like. But these are the ones that you can win. So you can win this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So the 15 on the scratchers are the ones that you can get. So I don't know if people know that. One thing we were going to do too, and I'll talk about this and then I'll open another pack, or I'll open up another box, is we were going to originally do different colored packs with different characters on them. I didn't get too far in exploring that, but that was an idea of having different characters on different packs, kind of like they did with Topps Chrome, which would have been cool. It would have been sick. It probably would have cost more just to do more of that. Yeah, so here's base lava parallel. So there's a bunch of broken out stuff I have on here, but I want to find... What is this? Oh, that's just a test file. So these are some tests. These are, some examples I did. I'm trying to find... So like, here are some examples of some base card ideas I had. So it was like, here's, we have no background. And we do just like this. We do white, but then they're kind of holographic on here, and you can see through it. And a lot of this was from looking at stuff I found online of stickers. Having a specific border, even having the text down there at the bottom like that. Like there's a bunch of stuff we talked through a lot, or having the parallel in the border on the base cards to keep things different. We ended up keeping it plain like this, just so it can be differentiated. And that's the thing with the not the haunted holograms, the parallels, is they're originally going to do this. So the thing in terms of like the base cards of working with, we set it up in such a way where we used a lot of automation to crank out the files for the printer. Because if we have to create, was it 43 times 88? 3,784 individual design files. It would have been a nightmare. So a lot of that I didn't have to worry about. I helped resize them to basically make sure they fit in a specific box, so then they could be placed in the right position. There's a lot of stuff behind it that we had to think about. But I don't remember any of those being specifically awful. All right, let's get back to ripping some stuff. Oh, and I forgot my camera did that. Oh shoot, cancel. So I dropped my keyboard and it said shut down computer. And I said no, I don't want to do that. It'd be funny if it stopped. It's not going to though. Let me see if I can. What is happening? Oh, okay. I want this other phone. I want this phone camera. I don't know why it's not letting me do this phone camera. Desktop view, this view. Whatever. It's fine. It's good that I have two phones over here. This one's just in a different case and doesn't sit how I want it. And it's going to fall down. But we'll open up another box. We're going to go with the... This one's already partially open. We'll open that one. So this one's kind of open already. So we'll do this one. And we'll open this up and see what's good. And you know what I bet happened is I bet my camera isn't charged enough on my other phone to do what I want. Let me see if I can take this camera out of this real quick. So let me do this for a sec. What are the questions you got? What are the questions you think we're going to have? Because I think we should have a decent amount of people and whatnot. Like you said, a lot of people are going to be rushing to rip. And you're just going to be there for the ride. And be like, we're going to not capitalize on that. We're going to wait. We're going to wait it out. There's no rush. All right. Okay, that's better than what it was before. Case was ruining some things. It's just, I'm not going to move that. Hopefully chat's going to enjoy picking my brain. It'd be nice. See, like I wanted to stream like this because I have all the files I can show you and stuff like that. And I can have this set up the same way, you know, and have this go through whatnot. So some of the stuff we should still be able to share. Let's open up one more. I really want to keep the rest of these boxes sealed because I just want to hold on to them forever because it's cool design. It's cool to design something, and that's the whole reason. So how did these characters get picked? I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. People got swapped in and out. I know that. We're all going to do the cat. I think I picked a lot of these characters. But I also am the kind of person that would say, hey, tell me who to put on this. Let me pull up packaging. Oh, here, we'll show you this. This is fun. Oh yeah, this is crazy. So we didn't know what the box was going to look like. Oh, it's a bunch of stuff's going to be not linked, so it's fine. We also didn't... Oh, is everything going to be broken? No, it's fine. We didn't know what the box was going to be. So I started designing based off of the Topps Chrome box size. So these are the characters I had on there. So I picked these. I think they tweaked some of them. I didn't get very far with designing this. I think we designed a different box. I've got a bunch in here. Hold on, let me open up all these box files. So they gave me the canvas marketing box designs, which was nice. So like this was the box at some point in time. Not that. So this was the box I designed. And we tweaked it. So this was like the first one I sent. So it's got all these characters on the front. And then this would be on the inside of the cover. We've got these guys on the side. The text is pretty much the same. On the back, it had on here, collect all spectaculars, collect debut super stickers, 2 per box. So this was fun to do, and it looked... I liked including all the characters on there. It then transitioned into a cover like this. A little more high-end is what we wanted to go with. So it's a little bit more polished. And I think I had a box like that in here. This is apparently nothing. Oh, it's just the Mango series box. So this was the box. And essentially what happened was we changed the box completely to a tall box. So I think I picked a couple characters I knew were popular, and then we played with it from there to find what would be a good back and forth. Yeah, we wanted a more National Treasure feel, like some Marvel cards are pretty nice. We wanted to make sure that we included, you know, a male character and a female character in here for parity. I think we had something else on here, but I don't remember. We went through a lot of tweaks and changes. All right, let's get these somewhat organized. Like this. And then we'll open some more of these. So what are you looking for most, Soggy, in this set? Look at that. Debut off the bat. So what we don't want to see based on sorting is we don't want to see the Brave Bison. So we got the Conviction Cockroach, which is nice. Humorously, so on the super stickers, the raccoon, the Respectful Raccoon is in here as a debut. And I spelled raccoon correctly. And then I had to change it because it's not spelled correctly in VeeFriends. So we had to be consistent with that. So I think we didn't have it, and we sent some marking materials out, and then Anne called it out because that's her guy. And then we fixed it basically for Anne. So I had to do more work because of Anne, but you are welcome. It's fine. So we have the Articulate Armadillo and the Fearless Fairy. Fearless Fairy, great to have. I'm going to put that one up there. And it's a gold. So gold Fearless Fairy is going to be harder to find than all the other ones. So that's a pretty good hit. Let me put the Very Lucky Black Cat up here. And I think that's good there. And honestly, so I spelled one thing wrong, which I had correct at some point in time, which I'll show in a sec. But we got the Competitive Clown. We've got our mini sticker in the back because I can feel it. Oh no, we got a case hit. So here's our case hit. Awesome. I wanted to see these. So these case hits are going to be really hard to find. Actually, they're case hits. You'll find one in every case. I mean, I ordered like 11 boxes, so that makes sense. This box came out of the... This actually came out of the 2 I ordered from the EQL though. But I wanted to see how these diamond die cuts came out because I couldn't tell the holographic on them. They don't shine as well as the other ones, but they still look pretty nice. I'm really happy with how that looks. So this is the Headstrong Honey Badger. You expect a little bit more prism and hollow. I didn't know what cards they were going to put them on. I'll show you, like, I'll pull up this file and show you how it looked in my head, and we can go from there. I'm pumped I pulled one of those though, because there's no guarantee because they're case hits. So let me find the Headstrong. Oh, it's literally right here. And then this is the white. So this is what it looks like. So I had to send them. I don't have my mouse. Oh, and you can't see what I'm doing because it's on the other screen. And it's fine. We were just complaining that you made me do more work because I had to change the raccoon back to misspelled. Let's pull this back up. So here's the design for the diamond die cut for this Headstrong Honey Badger that we just pulled. So that's awesome. So my intention with it was this essentially gets copied. What is this? Thanks for joining in, Anne. Soggy's gotten a lot of alpha from me in what I will call Bradley Jack alpha, but no one else alpha. So it's supposed to look like this with a holographic background. Yeah, it's white base. We don't want that. And I didn't know how it was going to print, so that's kind of interesting. White. Here's something people haven't seen yet. Here's something people are going to see tomorrow, right? Have they announced where these are going to be sent? Where are these guys going to be going to be done. That's the thing we haven't talked about either, is I did the packaging and everything for the blaster packs too, which I knew about, but nobody else did, which is fun to know. But I don't know if they've announced where I need to go tomorrow to find those, because they've probably done it while I've been streaming. Yeah, brick and mortars, but what brick and mortars? Who am I going to bug tomorrow is the question. I even texted Rips last week. It won't be out tomorrow, so we won't know. Or they said the 20th, didn't they? Okay. They're delayed. Sorry, I'm trying to find one specific file because it has this holographic texture in it to show you how we could have made it a little bit more holographic. The thing too with the... What is this? I don't want this. Is this even on here? No. See, I don't want the very, very lucky black cat. Whatever, it's fine. So if I go like this... Let me make a new file. Actually, I can find something else. I didn't know they were putting this on cracked ice to start. But I have cracked ice I can put on here to mimic it. That's not light enough. No, it's not light enough. One. We'll put this in here. Okay. So this is how I mocked everything up as to how I thought it should look. This is multiply. This is sit to pass through. Should look like that. This isn't multiplying though. Is it? No. Why? Oh. There we go. So how this works is, you know, here's our cracked ice. Make this larger. Kind of like that. Cool. We'll just grab this and just go like this, hit some buttons, and then bam. Okay. So they lay down this white layer first. So you should be able to see a lot through it, and then this gets multiplied on top of it, because this ink is more opaque. And it looks like this. So I think I expected more of it to shine through, but it's hard to tell. I basically could have made this white layer a little bit more transparent. So if I were to go in here, oh, this file is like that. I can't even tweak this, but that's how it should have looked. But this is how it was built too. So if you want to see that, so every card has this white layer and this layer to it. So all of those 3,700 files, we also needed white layers for it too, because it prints white and then it prints on top of that. So it's a little chaotic. But I got off track because we pulled a case hit. So this is the case hit. This is what a lot of people are going to be searching for. I don't know what the best character out of the diamond die cuts is. It's probably the Kind Warrior. What do you guys think? You know what we can do, and I probably could have helped out on this, is we can go to, what, anbag.com? Is that what it is? Anbag.com? Man, this is crazy. And I haven't visited your... Oh, God. We fell down. Hold on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Let's just put this back. This is also on 2 super sticker boxes. That's why it broke. Okay, we're back. So we got Anne's website here. I'll pop it over here so we can take a look at it. Need to add the odds. But, so this is all about the collectibles. So if I go here, I can click on... Where's it at? Super stickers? Coming soon? Oh, is it not on here yet? Or where is it? Hold on. Top scroll. Breaks. Oh, yeah. So you made it easy for people to come on here and just see what's in what. So this is nice. So we can see, so alligator, beaver, bandicoot, cockatoo, cougar. This cougar was annoying to work with, I feel like, because it's a wide character. But yeah, this is really nice to see. Oh, Empy. MP the Elephant is a die cut. That's probably the best die cut you can find. Would be Empathy Elephant. Kind Warrior. It really just depends on who you PC or who you maxi. This guy was annoying too, I feel. The Warm Wolverine, because like there's so much room up here. MP has a way to stand out. I want one of these haunted holograms. I want one of everything. That's the problem. I can easily buy some online though. Like the 6th dimension shouldn't be, not the 6th dimension. Well, I guess even the 6th dimension. The whatever it's called. The card I designed. A little bit more. There we go. The spec showdowns I can probably get on eBay pretty easily. And it won't kill me, which is nice. All right, I'm going to open these. Okay, we got the competitive clown and then the resilient red devil. I'm going to finish up opening this pack and then I got to make dinner. My wife's probably going to be hungry. All right, so we got another one of these. So the interesting thing to me, which is kind of cool, it's good and bad, is these are 2 per household. So you only need one box. You only need to open one box to be able to get these. So I don't know if people are going to have their neighbors set up accounts to try and get more of these or what. So there's that consistent cougar, just a weird wide guy. Then we've got a Mint Meek upside down. That's weird. That's fun. Mint Meek upside down, and then the Bashful Bobfish. Blah 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 blah. Ugh. My marbles are all tongues. Oh, people will also collect. Yeah, there's 15 different ones. Here's another one. See what's behind it. See, this is where I wanted to be. Oh, see, we got that. So behind that, it's a comic insert. And it's the comic number 3 insert. Because I had to Photoshop this. I mean, comic 1 with the Cynical Cat. So that's one. That's a fun one to get. I like the design of this over some of the other ones that we had. So this one's cool. And it's comic 1, which people don't have. Because you can't get them. And we got a skilled skeleton. The variety is amazing on these. Like, I'll go back through and look through the 2 boxes I'm going to open and see what base I have that are duplicates. It's going to be a low number. I don't think it's 0, but it's going to be low. We have the Protective Panther. See, like, the Protective Panther's a weird guy because he's so wide. What's up, Scotty Rude? Hello, Gene. So, like, this is a really wide character. So this is like weird open space. I went through and like spot checked all of these before we sent them out. Or before we batched them to make sure it didn't look really insane. Perspective Pigeon. Oh my God. This is awesome. The Chill Chinchilla, 2 of 2. There's only 88 of these autographs. So each character has an autograph for each. So no, it's 88 times 6. So listen, do you guys would know who has the Chill Chinchilla? So Justin has one of these, it seems. So we can share that with him. Let him know. Shut up, Alex. That's my twin complaining, so ignore him. He's fine. So each character has a base card, and they have a parallel card, and then this is the other card they have for each one. So this is the hologram. Not sure if he is a hollow or diamond. So this is awesome. Like, if I open 2 boxes and this is it, we're good. I don't need to open another box. When these are 2 different sets too. So one of this would have been one of the 2 boxes I would have opened. And then the case I would have kept sealed. But this was one of the original boxes. And again, it had that like slight rip in the side, which is the only reason why we opened this. So that's awesome. Love to see that. I don't know where to put this. We've hit so many cards with 2 boxes. The only thing we haven't hit, but also not a scam. Yeah, they understand, Alex. It's fine. The only card I haven't hit is a haunted hologram in a 6th dimension. If we do that, that would be crazy. diamond. This is what I wanted to see. So this is the diamond parallel. And Rip sent me a photo of this before it got sent out and said these diamonds look like $1 million because these look amazing. And the thing with these two is we had a lot of trouble with these. What's up, Steven? Steven, these are just these are just my personal boxes. Shout out Tim. We're trying to figure out who owns this NFT and who's going to want this. But I'm so pumped we got that. But we got test prints of these, and I didn't like how they looked because there was too much of the background showing through. So I had to send them emergency files to get these fixed, and they look amazing. You own the diamond and you're a buyer. So what else have we got? So that's awesome. Big Game Bandicoot, and then Fly Firefly. I'm a big You're Gonna Die Fly guy, so I'm excited to see that. It's nice it hasn't been in product because I haven't gone broke. But we've gone from there. We'll see what happens. All right, what else do we got here? So we've hit a ton already in here. Some of these too, and only a couple people are going to notice this. Well, here's the mini sticker. Knowing Gnome. What are these numbered out of? Let me check this spec list because I had nothing to do with the mini stickers. They just kind of threw them in there. Okay, base is out of 60. So I got a tie-dye, which is 33% of the Versatile Vikings. So that's pretty solid. And then the hollow foil is 10%. These mini stickers are fun. Where were we? I got distracted. And this is really nice to see this checklist because I know I made all this stuff. Oh, we haven't seen the Gary V dual auto. Those are probably gonna look sick. Hey, look, Chill Chinchilla to go with our other one, and then Jolly Jacko, which is a fan favorite as well. So that's a fun pack. All right, let's get another autograph in here for no reason at all. All right, so we got a debut of Brave Bison again. So we already have a Brave Bison. So this is the second one. So we don't want to see. Yeah, go to Bradley Jack Design. But design is DSGN. Soggy's also tagged me a bunch in like the last 2 days. So we got a super sticker, Tolerant Tuna to follow up that, and then Empty the Elephant on the lava. Oh, so this Tolerant Tuna too. Again, we've talked about this. Emerald. So this is super hard to find. Do Bradley Jack Design, but it's DSGN at the end. Bradley Jack DSGN. Bradley Jack Design itself is too long for X. So I can't put it on there. Oh, my brother bought a box. His box just arrived. We should FaceTime him in here to take a look at it. But I got to make food soon. That is me, yes. So Brave Bison. Empy's a good hit. Lava is the most common you're going to get, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. All right, so we got our another Spec Showdown, which is one of my favorite ones to make. So it's the Considerate Cowboy and the Bullish Bull. This is the one where I had entrepreneur spelled wrong, and then we had to fix it like 4 times because I kept spelling entrepreneur wrong. But these are even different. Hold on, are these the same? I need to put some of these in sleeves. I need to find some sleeves. Let's put this aside, and then these can be a little bit more. Yeah, so this is interesting. So this here, you can't really, okay, you can kind of tell that it has a sparkle to it. It must have printed darker because this one you can see it a lot more on and looks really nice. So it must have just printed darker for some reason. But I'm happy to see these. Heart Trooper, there it is. So Heart Trooper is the only other character that says one line of the name. And I think we went back and forth on, is it Heart Trooper? Is it Heart Trooper one word? Is it Heart Trooper with a single? What are we talking about? And then Decisive Duck. Great character. Let's put that there. So we got 3 packs left. Hologram. We know what that is already. We got another Heart Trooper. And listen, if you're going to get a duplicate, get a duplicate of a Heart Trooper. That's definitely a good place to go with. Got the Willful Wizard. Got to join the Wizard Society. If anybody has, what, $400 or $500 to get a VF2 of a wizard. And then Likeable Leopard. Then a DM, no problem. Thank you guys for watching. This has been fun. I'm going to be on Soggy's Whatnot on Saturday talking about the design of these. So join in on that. Give a little bit of alpha. He was the only one in here really when I shared a Easter egg nobody has found yet. So we got Mink, Notorious Ninja in the back. The thing I like about this, which I'll talk about in a sec, see what this is. Harpic, which is great. 2 awesome characters to get. So the way that the ninja's built, Ninja's huge on here compared to the Heart Trooper, because the Heart Trooper, we didn't want it to cover too much of the logo. So they all sit in about the same spot where their feet are. But since the Ninja is such like a round character, it fits in this frame awesome and is giant, which people I think are just going to love. Oh yeah, Steven, I designed the whole thing. So I designed every single thing in here, which is why I hopped on here to talk about designing them. So, you know, coming up with these parallels, Decisive Dog, this is a great parallel to get. If you're going to get a parallel, this is an awesome one. And I wanted to see how these shine because I intentionally set up the background so you would see through it. So really on here, the yellow on this, there's a white layer underneath basically the brightest parts of that background. So the red you can see through it and the other ones you can't. What's up, Tyler? Yes, Fire and Ice. That's a good call. That's a pretty solid one to grab. Let's put that there. Focus Falcon, Happy Hermit Crab. Are we out of packs? Is that it? We don't have any more packs to rip? I might have to rip more of these boxes. I wasn't going to. My intention was to keep a bunch of these sealed because I designed it. Falcon's overrated. It's just a diamond. What a way to end. So if you guys are just joining me, I'm only going to open these 2 boxes. We pulled a bunch of stuff. Yeah, one more case. Listen, Alex. Mikey JY, huge Chicago Bears fan. Huge top like 5 VeeFriends person. He opened up 72 boxes yesterday, which is insane. Let's go over what I got out of the 2 boxes. So these are the 2 spectacular showdowns I got. It's fun to see these out. I think these are some of the cooler designs. I think it's good that there's one of these in each box because they're such a nice design. It's going to be easy for people to collect them. Let's see. We've got this. This is the highlight. So this is the 2 of 2 hologram Chinchilla. So I believe, according to chat, Justin is the one who has the VeeFriends VF2 of this. So he's probably going to want this. We've got a bunch of random stuff down here that's not organized at all. We got some NFT stuff that is not as important because we can scratch those off. So we got the Cynical. Oh, you are Steven. See, I see Steven's view collects, and I got confused. But you messaged me. Cool. Cynical Cat. This is one of I like this one of the comic inserts probably the most. Listen, lucky enough, this is the same box. Same box had case hit and this in like back-to-back packs, which is pretty awesome. We got Knowing Gnome, mini sticker base, I believe. Our parallels, let me stack those. I did get a very, very, very lucky black cat on like the first or second pack. So that's awesome to see. 2, you can ask for 2 better boxes to open, pretty much. We got a Conviction Cockroach. These are real nice. These feel a lot better than I thought they were going to. I didn't know what they were going to feel like. Oh, and one thing to look at too. So like the backs of these are all different too. I don't know if people have picked up on that. It's like the logos on the back if they're different. These do too. So it actually says Spectacular Signatures under the signature, and then Spectacular Series here. So that's a fun thing to pick up on if you get one of those. Thanks, Steven. I spent a lot of time on these and a lot of quality control to make sure it was as best as possible. And I wanted to make sure we put out a consistently good product because I spelled consistently wrong words. We got Empty the Fairy. I'm just organizing these so we can show them. So Versatile Viking. So this is a little rare. Tie-dye. Fun little character. And then... So we got 4 parallels. So we got... These are the 4 parallels we got. I'm glad we got a variety so I can see how they look. And I wanted to get a diamond. None of these are numbered anything crazy. 52 is fun. It's not 55. 36, 10, and 3. That's close. But this is cool. Fire and Ice is fun on here to look at. But overall, I'm really happy with how these look. I'll follow you back. That's not a problem. Here are my 2 comic inserts. Motivated Monster and Cynical Cat. My spec showdowns I showed you guys. And then we've got the cat. So I only opened up 2 boxes. I mean, these are all the base you're going to get, though. And I mean, if we look at this and just try and do a cursory guess of duplicates. Heart Trooper we got 2 of. I think we got 2 of the Tolerant Tuna. But like, Mink. We've got a couple of Devils. But like, mostly, there might be like 3 duplicates in here. Overall, over 2 boxes. But they're not the same card. They're all different. So, I think that's awesome. This is going to be a fun rip for people. I'm excited for how these came out. Oh, Scotty, you said something on Twitch because I'm also streaming there. Cool. Thanks. So, yeah. I'm going to end it there. This was cool. I'll message you about this. We'll make this the thumbnail for the video. Get some views on it. But I will be on Soggy's Whatnot stream on Saturday. Oh, and we got a Hotshot Hornet numbered out of 499, which is fun. So if you watch Soggy's stream on Saturday night, I'm going to be joining him talking about a lot of the design, and I shared a bunch of it today. Like I have all the files, so I can share a bunch of stuff that looks cool. But bring questions because I'd love to answer them while he opens packs and stuff like that. But if you guys need anything from me, if you want to ask me any questions, follow me on Twitter. Oh, my Twitter's right here. It's right there. It's on the screen. Bradley Jack Design. But you can follow me on Instagram at Bradley Jack Design. I do a lot of sports design mainly, but this is something I loved to do, this project. Probably going to do more with them. I don't have anything right now in the pipeline with them, but I'm sure I'll be around in the future. I'm also on Discord if you want to ask me any questions. Same name. But I will see you guys later. Like and subscribe to this video because YouTube does its thing. But you guys have a lovely rest of your